the giant who grew smaller. Long ago, in a distant land surrounded by hills and silence, there stood a small village. From the outside, it looked peaceful, but inside its homes lived people weighed down by fear. Laughter had faded, songs were forgotten, and every year the same dread returned like a dark cloud. For it was said that once every year, a terrifying giant came to the village. No one knew where he came from. Some said he rose from the mountains, others believed he appeared from the shadows themselves. What everyone knew was this: when the giant arrived, death followed. Standing at the edge of the village, the giant would roar in a thunderous voice. "Is there a man among you brave enough to fight me? Is there anyone who dares to face me?" And every year, before anyone could gather courage, one innocent soul would lose their life. The day of the giant's arrival came again. The village fell silent, doors were shut, mothers clutched their children. Fathers looked away, ashamed of their helplessness. Everyone knew what the day meant. That same morning, a lone warrior arrived at the village. He was not dressed like a king, nor did he travel with an army. His clothes were worn from travel, and his sword bore marks of many journeys. Yet his eyes were calm, and his posture steady. As he walked through the village, he noticed the fear hanging in the air like mist. "Why does this place feel like a graveyard?" he asked gently. "What sorrow has fallen upon you?" The villagers gathered and told him their story: the giant, the challenge, and the lives lost year after year. The warrior listened carefully. "And who will face the giant this year?" he asked. Slowly, the villagers brought forward a young man. He was thin, pale, and trembling. His shoulders were bent under the weight of fear, and his eyes were already filled with defeat. The warrior looked at him for a long moment, then turned to the villagers. "This young man is not weak in body," he said, "but fear has already wounded him." Then he placed his hand on his sword and spoke firmly. "This year, none of you will face the giant. I will." A murmur spread through the crowd. Hope, something they had not felt in years, stirred in their hearts. The warrior walked to the open field outside the village and waited. As the sun began to sink, the earth trembled. From the distance emerged a massive shadow. The giant appeared, so tall that his head seemed to touch the sky, his footsteps shaking the ground. He carried a sword as large as a tree trunk. His voice thundered once again. "Is there anyone among you who dares to fight me?" The villagers hid in fear. Even the warrior felt his heart beat faster. For a moment, doubt tried to enter his mind. But he closed his eyes, whispered a prayer, and stepped forward. "I am here," he called out. "I will face you." The giant laughed, a sound that echoed through the valley. The warrior charged forward. As he did, something strange happened. With every step the warrior took, each step filled with courage, the giant began to shrink. The mountain-sized figure became no taller than an elephant, then no bigger than a man, then the size of a child. The warrior did not stop. By the time they stood face to face, the giant was no larger than a frog, trembling on the ground. With one swift motion, the warrior struck him down. As the giant lay dying, the warrior bent and asked, "Who are you really? Why did you appear so powerful, yet became so small when I faced you?" The giant whispered his final words. "I am nothing but fear, fear that lives inside the human heart. When people surrender to me, I grow. When they believe in themselves, I disappear." With that, the giant vanished. The village was silent once more, but this time, it was the silence of relief. The people came out of their homes, tears in their eyes. They understood at last what had haunted them all these years. It was not the giant. It was their fear. From that day onward, the village changed. They taught their children courage, faith, and self-belief, and the giant never returned. The villagers had learned that fear has no power of its own. It grows only when we allow it to rule our hearts. When faced with courage, faith, and determination, fear becomes small and powerless.